Hi, I'm Mike from UHI. Today's video is just a very quick shakedown on how to use the Mini Excavator 10T and P series for people that have absolutely no idea. They just want to get it home and start operating. So a couple of things just to let you know. The excavators are pretty dangerous. You've got a ton of weight. So I'm just going to briefly give you a rundown here. I highly suggest you get onto YouTube, run through, have a binge session, really understand the safety aspects of your machine before you get out there and start sort of being a warrior in the backyard. So I'm just going to run through what the functions are without the engine running so you can hear what's going on without the engine running in the background, and I'll just zip through this quite briefly. Air-cooled diesel engine. We don't have any preheat. It's just to get it started, little bit of throttle and crank it over. You're good to go, right? On this side, we have a pedal, safety slide over. This will operate your thumb grab, right? Now, that thumb grab, when you've got your hydraulic, when you've got your auger drive on, you've diverted the plumbing, so from the thumb grab will no longer be working, and this will then double as your function of your auger drive. So once you've plumbed it in, you've now diverted that to the auger drive. On this side, we have our blade up and down. Now that blade is not, primary function is not a dozer blade. That is to stabilise the machine. I'm going to show you how unstable the machine is without that blade down when we get to starting the machine. So over this side, we've got we've essentially got our boom up and down, left and forward and back, and we'll have our crowning of our bucket in and out with the sideway left or right function. If you come around to the other side of the machine, this here is our hydraulic lockout. So the hydraulics won't be getting any pressure with that there. We'll need to do that to lock out, get your hydraulics engaged. Bear in mind, if you've got your boom or your dipper up and you put that into the lock position, the boom will fall down under itself, just under its own weight, and the hydraulics are not pumping. So just be mindful of that safety aspect. And once again, we've got our joystick over this side. That'll be our dipper forward and backwards. And then we're going to have the slew left and right. This pedal here, we'll just slide that over. That is going to be our boom slew left and right. On all mini excavators, it's worth noting that it can be quite aggressive slewing that boom, and you'll see it. What I generally do is I'll just put a little bit of pressure forward or back on the tracks, so that'll divert some of that flow away from it and make it less aggressive, and then you can just gently slew that boom left or right. You shouldn't be using that function too often anyway. And the last function here, we've got our tracks. They're individually operated, left track, right track, forward, backwards. Self-explanatory, you'll figure that out. I'm also going to demonstrate to you how unstable the machine is without the dozer blade down when I've started it up, just so you can see the dynamics of the machine, weights and balances. So when we pick up a load, we're always working in front of the car. If we're crowning, we've got a full bucket of spoil there and it's heavy, and we're slewing off to the left. Remember, our machine's going to be inherently very unstable because we no longer have our dozer blade down. We don't have one down on the side here, of course. So I'll get it started, and we'll quickly show you how it operates. to turn off the machine, throttle off and key off. One more point to note is when you're digging, all of your power comes from the curl or crowning of the bucket when you're in a trench. You cannot use your dipper to pull back force. The strength's not there. The strength is all in the curling or crowning of the bucket. Just be mindful of that. Right, so that's all we've got time for today. But as I said, get onto YouTube, watch a lot of videos, guys that are proper operators, and see their advice, and they'll be able to sort of steer you in the right direction.